This episode has been brought to you by Fornos Law Firm, devoted to optimizing your legal results at fornoslaw.com.
Welcome to Push Rim, where we discuss disability news, culture, interviews, and more. I'm Ray Pizarro.
I'm Richard Bow.
We'd like to thank our audience for being with us. And yes, we are back online and providing you guys these interesting podcasts that hopefully are helping people out there with different issues, resources, anything that could help. We're here to help you guys out. So before we get started, we'd like to thank all our supporters and sponsors that's been giving us great feedback, and also thanking everyone for supporting us in our first Push Rim at the Park fundraiser we had last month. That was a total success.
Yeah, and we'd like to thank a few special people who showed up and showed out. Jerry O'Brien, Susan Ross, Myra Fornos, Ati Angel, the Grill Master Batiste, and our volunteers. All of you, you know who you are. I might not mention your name, but you're not forgotten.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to having many more of these events so people could come out and support Push Rim Foundation.
And hopefully we'll make the weather better for you.
Definitely.
The next time.
That'll help, especially for us non-sweating quadriplegics out there. It would make it easier. So so with that, we're gonna bring it in and introduce our guest for the day. Daniel Alvarez is here to share his story and some of the cool projects he's a part of. He is a photographer, a videographer in training, and an artist. So welcome to the show, Daniel.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for being here.
So how did you tell us how you got hurt? And
well, I was at a party about 8 years ago. It was a Halloween party, and just things went down. Somebody took out a gun, and I actually got shot.
Oh man. Well, how long were you in the hospital?
I was in the hospital for about a month, and then they transferred me to Rancho for about 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah, I always say when I tell people about it, it's like 2 weeks is nothing. It's nowhere near enough time to get you prepared for what you're about to go through. So
what do you learn what can you learn in 2 weeks?
It's basically the basics: how to brush your teeth, put on clothes, simple stuff like that.
Transfers, and I'm sure that's it took a little bit to perfect that, after being hurt and all that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what level of injury are you?
I'm a T3, T4 complete.
Okay. So once you got home and settled in, did you have a good family support, friend support that were there for you just in case you needed?
Yeah. My family was always really supportive. If I ever needed anything, they were always there. And aside from that, I've always had kind of a positive outlook on life, so that helped a lot as well.
Good deal. So what led you to get into, when you got your confidence back and did you start driving right away? Did that take you a little while to do?
Yeah, I had been on the bus when I was younger, so I was like, I'm not trying to be on the bus. So I think it was maybe 2 months after I left Rancho, I started driving again.
Okay.
Good deal.
Yeah, I got back on the bus real quick.
And so now we know you're a photographer, an artist. Are you working on anything for the Art of Rancho show?
I actually just spoke with Debbie. She's the one that runs Art of Rancho, and I voiced my interest, of my interest in being in the Art of Rancho. So, I definitely getting ready for that.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. It's always a great event. I think this year it's going to be November 5th and 6th, I believe.
I didn't get the dates yet, but I'll be
hopefully
ready.
I'm not jumping the gun on that.
That's okay. We'll be able to post them up and share the right events with everyone once that flyer comes out, and people could come out and check out all the awesome work people are doing out there with disabilities. Yeah. Now, Daniel, what got you actually to get into photography? Is there were you doing it before your injury, or is this something you just kind of found out that you were wanted to do?
Well, first off, I was always an artist. My mom tells me that I was drawing and painting when I was like 2 or 3. So, but I started painting, and I was painting, so I was like, I should maybe get a camera to sell some of these paintings, and I ended up getting a camera. And about a month after I got my camera, they offered me some photography classes at Rancho, and I kind of went from there. So in a way, photography found me. So, and I've been
Nice.
doing it ever since.
Good deal. Good
Yeah.
deal. So what kind of things how did you start getting out and taking photos? I mean, did you try to do it with your phone first and then buy a DSLR, or how was that process?
Well, like I said, I actually got my camera before I got the classes, and I took it from there. I got a Canon T3i, and I just started going crazy with picture.
Oh, you got a serious camera.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't need such a good camera for what I was trying to do, but I was like, might as well, So, yeah, and it's come in handy. So I'm glad I made the purchase.
Cool. So what type of challenges do you face holding? First of all, I'm thinking about balance, right? Because our balances are compromised depending how high our level of injury is. Was it kind of challenging to figure out how to hold the camera up and take a steady shot, or did you mostly use tripods or monopods for that?
It depends on the situation. Nowadays, I try to use a tripod as much as I can, but I handhold. I mean, I'm still stable enough to handhold.
Yeah, and you use can you connect a monopod to your chair?
I'm sure people have.
But you don't do that.
No, I've thought about getting like a clip for my chair and clip it on so I could hold the camera like that.
Yeah.
So, but as of now, no, I'm just using my tripod and hand holding right now.
I was hoping you did, because I wanted to ask how to set that up, but
Right.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, so I've noticed also that you have certain meetups with other photographers in different locations. Could you share a little bit about that?
Yeah. Well, on Instagram, there's pages where they'll host meetups, and the whole point of them is to just get out and meet people and create with people. So I've been doing that, just going to 1 or 2 meetups a month, and it's just a bunch of creative people getting together and expressing their creativity through photography.
No, it's pretty sweet.
So are there other members on the meetups that are in wheelchairs too?
Well, I've invited a few people from my photography class, and they've come out a few times, but for the most part, it's just me. I'm the only wheelchair shooter.
But so when you do go, what kind of obstacles do you run into?
Well, the main thing is, if you're gonna go out with these meets, get your cardio up, because it involves a lot of moving around. But for the most part, I haven't really faced that many difficulties, just because people are always ready to jump in and help if I need a hand. So yeah, it's just a good vibe. It's a good way to express yourself if you're a creative person.
Right.
Yeah, and it's always good to be around other creative people too, right?
Absolutely.
It fuels the fire, right? And the juices start flowing, and the excitement and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So Daniel, say you're out on your own. I mean, I'm sure you got caught, found yourself sometimes by yourself shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, safety-wise, are you always aware, I'm sure, of your surroundings, and especially when you have camera and equipment with you, you could be kind of vulnerable out there by yourself. Any tips and to kind of be aware of when you're out there doing that?
Yeah, especially at first, I was a little rebel, and I would go out really late at night. But I would pick and choose my spots. Obviously, I was born and raised in Los Angeles, so I know like the gray areas and the good areas. So if I'm alone, obviously, I'm not gonna be like in Skid Row or anything like that. But for the most part, I've been pretty confident in going out and catching stuff on my own. But yeah, now I started thinking about it more, because I'm rolling with a few dollars in equipment. So for the most part now, I have somebody with me.
Good.
Most of the time. Yeah.
So it's always good if you're starting off, to have a friend or a buddy to go out together and just look after each other if you're not sure what neighborhood you're going into, or just better safe than sorry, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah, so
Yeah. So also do you find yourself sometimes when you're driving and you see something interesting to take? Do you ever think about shooting, or do you ever shoot out of your car sometimes, or do you have to do the whole get out of the car stuff?
Yeah, it's funny. Ever since I started taking photography, I kind of started seeing things a little different. So now I'll be driving and just see something that I have to catch. And it just depends on how tired I am and my mood. Sometimes I will park and get out, but sometimes I'll just stick the tripod out the window and get the picture, you know. So it just depends on how tired I am and if I actually want to take out my chair and out of the car.
Yeah.
So I just get the picture any way I can.
So that's what you mean by cardio, right? Be strong enough to have a long day, and because if you count it, man, it transferring in and out, breaking your chair down, and that's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. And then the pushing, going around in different spots and pushing. So yeah, it adds up.
So you heard it for Daniel. Hit that weight room, or come on and do some endurance pushing to get your wind up.
absolutely.
Right.
Good deal. So Daniel, like what kind of photos do you like taking? Are you a certain type of photographer that likes landscapes, portraits? I mean, what do you categorize, or a little bit of everything?
Well, because I'm still in school, I'm trying out a bunch of everything just to get feedback from my teacher and, take his suggestions. So right now I'm pretty much shooting everything, whatever I'm feeling that day, whether it's landscape that day or it's urban photography or street photography. I'm catching it all right now.
Good deal.
Yeah, and what do you think of the classes at Rancho for photography? They pretty good? Are they pretty comprehensive?
Michael is a great teacher. He's been taking he's been shooting for over 20 years. And it's kind of funny because when I came into the classes, I was like, it's just gonna be a little class, and but no, it's actually they brought laptops, they got cameras, so it's like a legitimate class. And if anybody's interested in it, they're gonna continue to offer the classes. So if anyone's interested in photography, I definitely say to go for it. Even if it's just a little interest, I definitely go for it. I can definitely see the progress from when I first started to now. It's a big difference.
So it's not just about going out and just taking photographs. It's also composition, lighting, and all of that you learn?
Absolutely. It's like a 3-course class. So it's a beginner, intermediate, and professional. So I've learned the first one was more about the camera and composition and taking the picture. The second one was more like editing, like we use Photoshop elements. And the third one is going to be more the business side. So it's a great opportunity that I was given.
Wow, I didn't even know they had such a extensive program for photography.
Yeah, and it's just a great free course. They actually even pay you back the money for travel at the end of every course, and you have a show. So like I said, if you're even mildly interested, I definitely would look into the classes they're offering at Rancho.
Well, good deal, man. This sounds like, it's a no-brainer, get involved with people and just be out there doing great things in the community. And we applaud you for that. Thanks for sharing that with us. Hopefully this could inspire other people to get out there and start shooting, just start getting out there. And if you're at Rancho or other places where they offer classes, or maybe even going back to school, I know there's financial aid in a lot of colleges, that all that stuff is free. It's just a matter of you getting out there and getting your feet wet, seeing what happens.
Yep, absolutely.
So where can people find you as we wrap up here? Where can people maybe tap into you or find your photos and stuff?
I'm definitely in all the social medias, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Flickr, and my screen name is D Alvarez TV. So that's DALVAREZ TV. And on Facebook is just my name, Daniel Alvarez. That's where you guys could find me. Also on Push Rim's website.
That's right.
Yeah,
Good deal.
Yeah, because of course Daniel is now part of Push Rim and helps out with all of our photography, videography, and we'll be helping a lot in our art programs we're trying to start. But you can find us at Club Pushrim on pushrim.org and Twitter and what else?
Yeah, all that fun stuff. Basically, our destination page is pushrim.org. When there, it'll link out to our social networking site and all the awesome programs that we're doing to help our community. So if anyone wants to support us, anyone out there that sees the type of work we do and who we impact, please don't hesitate to reach out to us and see how we could help people out. So with that, we leave you guys. And Daniel, thanks again for stopping in and sharing your story and all the fun stuff you're doing out there and staying active and being kind of a role model of sorts to different people out there that just are getting injured. So anything else you would like to add?
Actually, one of the things that we've had in mind and we've talked about with a few people is starting some kind of photography meetup with Pushrim, and just so right now we're just, if we could get a little feedback on the comments to say if anyone's interested, if that's something that anybody would be interested in, definitely shoot us a comment on the video, and that's something we're working on. So because I know so many people that are photographers, we might even make it where we can have a one-on-one, someone that's in a chair with someone that's able-bodied, kind of like a one-on-one lesson. So that's something that might be coming up with Pushrim pretty soon.
Awesome. Great idea.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. Looking forward to it. So thanks again. And thank you all for being with us. And we'll catch up with you guys on another episode. And thanks for all your support. And we'll catch you next time.
See you guys.
Bye.
Later.